Election season in the US has been a little different this year. The pandemic has made traditional get out the vote drives more risky, forcing political campaigns to turn to digital methods of campaigning.
See you on the next Team Trump Online.
With that in mind, campaigns are going further than ever to reach out to voters through gaming, using the virtual worlds of video games for a new kind of political mobilization. Gaming's biggest moment on the campaign trail came in early September, when the Biden campaign released officially sanctioned yard signs and clothing patterns for use in the video game Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Animal Crossing became a viral sensation when it was released in March 2020, back when social distancing began to really kick in. The game drew attention from some politicians back then as well. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, as well as some candidates from Florida's Democratic Party, experimented with using the game for voter outreach. But the Biden campaign's fairly extensive catalog of official in-game signs represent a new level of outreach, trying to get Animal Crossing players to redecorate their island for Biden. There's plenty of user-generated content supporting President Trump, despite no formal products from the campaign itself.
In the past, people have tried to sell products in video games based on the demographic that game reaches.
Elena Bertozzi is a professor of game design and development at Quinnipiac University.
Knowing that Animal Crossing has this ethos as a pro-social sort of community-oriented game, I think the Biden campaign chose that game both because they wanted to be associated with the culture and also because they wanted to reach the demographic of players of that game.
Political advertising in games isn't unheard of.
I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Former President Barack Obama's 2008 campaign purchased digital billboards in games like NBA Live to try to boost turnout among young voters. But it's not clear how effective such tactics are. Unlike other forms of advertising, video game companies can still be enigmas when it comes to assessing how influential their content is. The prolonged social distancing needed to fight the pandemic has left over half of the country feeling more isolated and lonely than ever before, according to a Newsy Ipsos poll. With real-life options limited, Americans have been adopting more virtual methods to mingle, including by playing more video games. Animal Crossing gives its players a uniquely tangible outlet for socializing with their friends. You can't bop someone over the head with a net in a Zoom call, after all. And as election season has ramped up, the game's players have brought their political identities into their virtual lives as well. Asserting identity, political or otherwise, is a key part of Animal Crossing's attraction. The ability to take a digital space and customize it to your liking makes the game unique.
Animal Crossing and other games kind of like it are playful spaces, and they are interactive. So they allow us to actively engage with others and have these shared experiences in ways that you don't have necessarily if you're sitting on Zoom.
Dr. Rachel Cowart runs the nonprofit group Take This, which studies games from a mental health perspective. She says the game offers something people aren't getting from other methods of digital interaction.
It sounds like something is unique about being in a game together.
They give us a sense of control, a sense of autonomy, that we are free to make our own choices. They give us a sense of competence, that we're able to achieve things or be successful. And they give us a sense of relatedness, connecting to one another, whether it's online playing, connecting with our friends, or like in Animal Crossing, connecting with our villagers.
Ultimately, Animal Crossing is appealing because of the contrast it draws to the real world. Bringing political allegiances into the game is just another way for players to exert control over the digital space that they might be lacking in the real world.
We're very socially isolated. We are feeling a little out of control, right? We can't really control our environment. So what better game to have than one where you're creating your own island, your own house, your own land, your own little society.